Hello, I'm Vanessa Feltz. Welcome to my house. Well, this is meant to be my dining room and, posh reception room, but you will notice that there's no dining room table here. And the reason there's no dining room table here and all the dining room chairs are against the wall is because really it's a party room. And I'm always having a party. And if it's not my party, it will be one of the grandchildren's parties, one of my daughter's parties. And so my dining room table has been permanently propped up against the wall in the kitchen for the last, 5 years or something like that. I'm always intending to put it back and have my dining room here, but I haven't. The decor, a little bit sort of Italian restaurant, a little bit sort of Roman fresco or something. I, as you can tell by the way I'm describing it, did not put these in or have any artists come and paint them. They were here when I moved in. I've been here 22 years. They don't suit the house at all because the house is a Victorian Gothic folly, and this looks like a sort of Greek taverna in 1973, so it couldn't be less appropriate. However, it is quite funny, and I decided to leave it because I just thought it was amusing. And then if you would care to look here, you will see this is a very interesting table. Now, if my dining room table was up here, you'd see that it's got lots of bits cut out of it, just like this, a bit like an amoeba. And this table mimics my dining room table. Now, who would mimic a table? What does that even mean? Is there such a verb as to mimic a table? The answer is yes. Who would mimic a table? That gentleman there. And can you see his face from there? That's Lee Francis, of course. He's a good friend of mine. And I was a guest on Through the Keyhole. This house was featured. And as an amusing, hilarious jape, they presented me with a mimic table copying my real table. And on the table are the people who were on the panel that day. So you've got Lee Francis himself, who was hosting it. But you've also got my lovely friend Davina McCall. Obviously, I know her very well from Big Brother. And here they are on my table, preserved forever and ever. And this is the more interesting and dramatic bit of my kind of reception room. And you can see it's got this wonderful domed window. It's Art Deco. It was built in about 1850. It's what's called a Victorian Gothic folly. In other words, all the other houses built at that time looked nothing like this. This looked totally crazy even then. It's not like it was, totally suitable for 1850. It wasn't at all. It was mental then and it's crazy now. Chicken Oriental as far as architecture is concerned, but very pretty, I think, with the lovely lilies in stained glass. And of course, it's perfect for parties because this bit is a marvellous stage. So we normally have the DJ up here, and that's the house, really. It looks very chapel-y. Some people said it was a chapel, that it was built as a sort of extra to the house next door, which is a great big thing, and that, this was used for devotions, which may be true or may not be true, I don't know. But this is pretty much it now. This is the entertaining party room in my house. Welcome to my office. This is a rather peculiar room because you can't sleep in it because you have to walk through it to another room and it's rather odd. But anyway, this seemed to be a perfect place for an office. And this is the computer upon which I wrote my book, Vanessa Bears All. And by the time I'd finished it, it was about 102,000 words. That's quite a lot of words, really, isn't it? About my life, blimey. At the beginning, I was sure there was going to be nothing in it at all. I was thinking, why do they want this? I've never done anything. I've got no experiences. And 102,000 words later, I thought I'd better put a lid on it because otherwise I could carry on and on and on and on. But this is the place where I sat to do the work. I'm quite glad not to be sitting down there doing it now. Let me tell you, it's all finished. And here's the beautiful book. Hooray! So in my office, I have a wall of black and white works of art, and they're quite varied in different ways. This is a lithograph of a poor oppressed gentleman with a bicycle and a flat cap, schlepping home from somewhere in the pouring rain. And this is, of course, me. And this is an illustration of me going to a fetish party, which was actually called a rubber ball. And I had to wear a latex dress, and would you believe it was for This Morning, when Richard and Judy were presenting it. And it was absolutely full of kind of naked fetishists. I remember a girl with sort of a tattoo on her private parts, which I had to sort of lean forward and read, which I've never recovered from. I literally never recovered from that. And I spent the whole thing in a state of abject A, terror, and B, horror. And I think you could learn from that, and also the expression on my face, because that's the illustration that went with it in She magazine when I wrote about it, that fetishes, c'est pas moi. So this is a cupboard, in a way it's a cupboard of pride and glory, and in a way it's a cupboard of shame because it's a bit embarrassing. And it's really both, so I'll show you what it is. This is a whole host of enormous ball gowns of the most extraordinary variety. So let me show you them. This one here is the one I wore for Saskia's actual wedding. So when I was mother of the bride. So what do you think of that? Absolute beauty, isn't it? Look at that. And then this one I wore for the NTAs last year, the National Television Awards. It's a real beauty. This one I wore when I had a party, kind of princess, beautiful princess dress. And can you believe I can go on and on? Because I can go on and on and on. This is absolutely gorgeous. This was Pride of Britain last year. Look at the beading on that dress. Look how lovely that is. Look, I think you've got the gist of it now. No wonder, isn't lucky my daughters got married and don't live at home so I could commandeer their bedrooms, right? Well, I hope you've enjoyed your tour of my house. I call it Feltz Towers. Now you've got some idea why that is. Maybe I'll see you back here one day for a party. Lots of love. Bye-bye.